Hello. I have, itch my head, just like I've got a thought for the day. That's what I want to do. My thought for today, she scratches her head. So I wanted to just bring in a little bit of a series. I'm hoping that will carry on for a little while. Who knows? Who knows how long these things last with me? But I wanted to introduce this thought or higher thought for my day, who or what they were leading to me. So here's a thought for today. Um, what caught my attention when I was thinking about nothing particular, walking in, hang on, I'm going to have to show you, was my cushion with this beautiful blue fairy wren. So this is a fairy wren. The male has the blue on the body, so this is a male, and the female is brown, like most wrens are, but has blue, oh, this is awkward, blue on the tail, a pale blue on the tail. Right. I looked that up because I knew nothing. And I was like, well, this was my thought. What is the spiritual meaning of blue wren? Because I also have a doorstop with two little blue wrens on it. And recently, Australia Post was sending out these postcards that they put in your mailbox and said, if you want to send this for free to a friend, I don't know what they're trying to encourage, the old snail mail. And it has a stylized pair of wrens on it. And I stuck that on the wall as well. So I just thought, these little blue wrens are, these fairy wrens are making themselves be known. Now, just to preface, if you're not from Australia or New Guinea, you may not have seen the actual fairy blue wrens and the variances of those, but they have that very long tail, so they're super cute. The other thing about the wren is it tends to hang around low bushes and stay within those bushes and stuff. It's not a big fly off into the air and migrate type bird at all. So just so you know. And what it symbolized when I put it into the old Google or whatever, some of the things that came up that were that kind of, oh, that feels right, that feels interesting, that feels what spirit's trying to get me to open up to through my thoughts and through what's been thought by others. So yeah, the theme is thought, thinking. But it was the blue wren or the fairy wren symbolizes self-love and happiness. Now, you couldn't get more appropriate as a thought to have self-love. And what is your happiness? How is your happiness going? Where are you traveling within your happiness? We're not happy all the time, as in we have those emotional ups and downs and so forth, and things happen in life that challenge. But it's about that general overall happiness. And a focus here that was given was, are you happy? Are you happy with where you're going, what you're doing, the bits and pieces in your life? And the other side of it is self-love. Are you giving yourself enough self-love? Because happiness is intrinsically, got that right, intrinsically linked with your own self-love, how you perceive yourself. Yeah. So it was also, so just things that I'm putting out here, maybe they flag something for you. Maybe they get you thinking, feeling, and following what your heart is saying right now, your higher thoughts around anything that comes out today. So, joy of experiencing life's beautiful moments. And because they're quite scattered and flitty, they seem like they're not really enjoying life because they don't stay in one spot. And how many people say that about things that we do? Particularly myself, I've always been a person who's moved from thing to thing. I'm a bit of a scanner. It's like, oh, yeah, got that, scanned it, felt it, got it, moved on. And so I get a little bit bored pretty easily. I like to try lots of things. And I think at a soul level, I have tried lots of things. And so when you're talking ascension, it can be a little bit tricky, I've discovered for myself and anybody else who maybe relates to this, I don't know, that there's a lot of aspects of self that have to be brought back. Now, we've been operating on the premise of, what is the wounded parts? But there's also, what are those joyful parts? What are those beautiful aspects of self that know how to nourish us, are our nourishment? And when you move more into the unity and openness of 5D consciousness, that is the new earth, then you start to recognize that nourishment isn't always, or mostly isn't, from the outside, right? It's not an external thing, it's an internal thing. And so even things like eating, breathing, all those things start to become more of an internal experience as well. You expand and broaden your capacity across 5D, across multi-dimensional self, and what aspects of self are to come forward. So this life's beautiful moments, joys of experiencing life's beautiful moments. Are you getting enough beautiful moments? Are you giving yourself enough choices, broadening your choices to have beautiful moments? Because if you're locked down in constant grind or with certain people all the time and you're not moving and allowing yourself to open up to new things, try some new things, go out to something and meet a few new different people, be open to saying hello to people at parties or wherever's and making new friends and having a little bit more of these choices. You might not also have any creative choices in your life, or perhaps you don't go out and go for a walk or do any of those sorts of things that would take you into those spaces where you can have life's beautiful moments. Perhaps your friends are not the ones you really need to be with and you need to find a few others. So there's very much this broadening your choices, finding nourishment in different aspects of life. So these are some of the things I picked out from this spiritual meaning, but the broadening your choices was from my higher self saying, need to broaden choices. And a lot of people are very locked in and limited, even in what you think or how you believe or what you perceive as the world. You've locked it in and you don't give any openness to another perspective. And therefore, you lock heads with other people. You're in anti mode, even if you don't say anything to them. You're like, oh, that's rubbish. Oh, that's horrible. That's not how it works. That's a load of whatever. And you're in this, right? And that's you now not nourishing yourself with all life's beautiful moments. Okay. All you can see is the angst of how everybody is not the same as you or not believing in the same thing. So broadening those choices also allows for sort of a few more perspectives. And this comes back to the wren. The fairy wren is, they have their own sort of family groups and they actually do mate. And if one of them the female makes a nest, the male will stick with that one and they become a pair and they may even remate and look after the nest and do the same thing over and over. But they also are extremely promiscuous. And so both the female and the male will go and have, howdy-doody with their neighbours. Even though neighbours looking after their little family and this neighbours looking after, they still carry on with each other quite a bit. So there's this attitude of exploring options, and it's a positive promiscuity. I can't even say it, promiscuity. And I was like, what is positive about promiscuity? But it is exploring options before settling down. So again, are you broadening yourself, particularly those who've been doing spiritual work for quite a while and they're now starting to recognize, I need a new outlet or creative outlet, or certain things are just not resonating anymore. And you're not sure about going with that anymore, whatever it may be, a work position, even the way you've been doing spiritual work, right? Whatever it might be, even the way you've been learning your spiritual stuff, or who you've been following, who you've been allowing into your world, what things you've been going to. Are you going out of habit? Because are they still nourishing you is the question. And then are there other choices to go and give it a try? Be positively promiscuous, right? And the other side of that, before you settle down into something new, there's a period of time going on right now since we stepped over the solstice and it's the 3rd of June today, the 2025. So we've just not long been through the solstice, 3rd of July. Sorry, God, I'm so behind in time. 20th or 21st or whatever it was the solstice of June. We're now in 3rd of July. My gosh, can't even keep up with the months. It's all so rapid. So that's why also I'm getting why you might feel like you try something. And, you know, if you're like me and my family, we used to have, you know, oh, if you're going to try a sport or a after school activity, you do it for the whole term, regardless of whether you like it or don't like it. Now, you know, you can't put that rule on yourself, particularly it's not always the right thing. But on top of that, there's loyalty to stuff that maybe can't be upheld because your energies are moving with this very fast, very rapid creative space and movement towards new things. Lots of people are picking up new resonances and dropping other resonance that doesn't resonate with me anymore, or oh, this is interesting, I want to go explore that. And that comes back to this exploring options before settling down. So we're in a very explorative state at the moment, many of us. And before you sort of go, oh, I'm going to upend everything, you either keep that on the side and start exploring other options, or you may find you've kind of got nothing that's not holding me anymore, but what else is there? I'm not really sure. So you explore options, give things a try, find out if you like it, give it a few goes, particularly now the energies have changed, and with it, your soul books have opened up to whole new chapters. And so there is this whole new kind of path that is unfolding amongst people. And if you're at that more 5D unity consciousness, it's not the usual linear pathway. So you might be a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and then you drop that and a little bit of this and a little bit of that. It may have even been like that for you when you were doing a lot of your heavy duty healing. I'm more healing and focused on this emotion and this thought, and now I'm over here focused on this emotion and that thought, and now I'm over here. But it's holistic healing. You're doing the whole lot. This is holistic revealing. So there are things you get excited about, new people that come in that you kind of really go, oh, I gel with them, but it hasn't unfolded as something yet. There's a lot of people just catching up with where they're going and what's next. They're just opening up these packets of energy that have been coming in from the sun. They're just starting to read this new chapter and put some bits in, have some conversations with Source and their teams, the Ascension teams, the Earth dimensional teams, because Earth is many dimensions coming together, unifying in the same way that we are personally unifying in ourselves and collectively unifying. So this promiscuity, positive promiscuity, is to play around with some of these things, explore options before settling down. The other part of it could mean moving on. All right, so promiscuity is, oh, yep, done. we had our fun, we really got into that intimate space, and now I'm moving on. Not staying loyal to people and projects. So I have written here where you can't be true to you particularly. So it might be that I can't be true to myself in here. I can't stay with this person or this project or this workspace or this idea or whatever it is, this belief system even. A lot of things that you are going to be putting down, moving on from, and trying new things. But there might be a space where you're not really sure. I don't know what's quite next. I haven't worked it out because things are unfolding in the new earth. People are coming together in new communities. New ways of things are coming forward. Stuff is emerging, but is yet to bloom, okay? And when it blooms, you get a whiff of that perfume and it attracts you to it. Oh, that's my thing I've been waiting for. In the meantime, I'm exploring. I don't have to do a lot of healing. A lot of people are that, I don't need to do that healing so much. Yeah, that'll happen. Stuff happens. But what am I revealing? What can I try out? What abilities do we have now? What is new to me? What interaction can I have with spirit now? How can I be interacting differently? What new spirit wants to come and participate now that I'm moving or have moved to this 5D experience or 5D plus? So moving into these other dimensions that can now connect with you. Interesting times, hey? So I wanted to also reference an Aboriginal dreaming concept around the Blue Fairy Wren was embracing your unique characteristics and not feeling pressured to compete with others. It comes from a Dreamtime story where all the birds were competing with each other and trying to see who could fly the best. The wren doesn't fly very high and it can't move away from its bush very easily. So it might be that you are still going to be playing around in the same field, but you might be going to try a few different things, or you're just looking for your own unique characteristics at the minute. Okay, you're not having to compete with others. And this is particularly true of people moving into a more prominent space within New Earth, and that means within humanity or activities around the earth, for the earth, to bring it together, trusting your own unique characteristics that are maybe haven't emerged until now, or have been there a little bit but are now making purpose out of them. So there's some really interesting unfoldments as we move towards this revealing further of who we are and what we are, and playing as that, because we are the ones creating, but these new things have got to emerge enough and then come together through our movement, through our action, through our creating. So trusting your own characteristics and the things that are being revealed and not competing. No pressure to compete. Follow your heart. Always follow your heart. So that worthiness that comes from within, the self-love. So you don't have to prove your worth. It's about worthiness that comes from within, self-love, self-acceptance. And that brings us back loop to self-love, happiness, right? If you can't accept yourself, you are unlikely to feel very happy about yourself or your life or other people. You can't find that center point of happiness where it doesn't matter what's happening around. You know yourself. You feel good with yourself. You operate from the true you. So are you being true you? This was my thought, an end point to leave you with. Are you being true you? This is what Fairy Wren wants to remind me of. Am I being true you? Me? Do I need to be competing? Can I just put out my own stuff, and hence this idea? And yet it might be similar to some other people's ideas, and yet, you know, a thought for the day, right? Oh, a thought for the day. That's not new, right? But what's my thought? Blue wren, and what does it symbolize? That's not new. But what am I speaking to? What wants to come from me? What is this unique idea that is coming up? And there's no pressure to feel like that's less than or more than. I can only reference myself, but that's my example. How does that feel for you? Feel into that. And without going into the I'm giving it thought, this was a higher self thought. This was a heart thought. This was an intuitive thought about the wren and wanting to dive further into that as a message, as a knowledge, as a connection of resonance, and as a sharing here. Are you being true you? Time to explore, says Fairy Wren. All right, my darlings. One more thing that I had was from the Nature's Whisper Oracle cards. It's always a bit weird, this angle, sorry. I then felt compelled to, I'm just trying to put there, Angela Hartfield. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. That's the back of the card, these beautiful fairies. And this beautiful picture of be yourself always. Let me see if I can get this straight. There we go. No, be yourself always. This beautiful mermaid on a seahorse with all that thoughts of beautiful hair and thoughts of color, excitement. Right, so just reading the little booklet in that, I wrote that down in my book in bigger writing so I could actually read it. So Nature's Whispers and is the name of this card, these cards, and it all connects, everything's interconnected to the what is the blue wren whispering to me right now, what is going on right now that in my thoughts that maybe has deeper meaning, and I just needed to have a little search around for it. So being yourself, your best self always, that card applies so much to what I just said, right? What we just talked about. The self-love and the happiness and the self-acceptance. And the book says to take what works for you, check in, it says, start again. Take what works for you from what the book says. I'm about to read the word for word. Check in with yourself. How are you feeling at this moment? Are you being the person you aspire to be? Remember that you determine how you feel. It is understandable, we are all human, and there are times that we don't feel 100%. You drew this card to help you to remember to access the highest level of emotions now. Don't settle for less than you deserve. Do your utmost to achieve more, love more, and to be your best. And so that's that joy to really be at your best. Make time for joy. Make time for experiencing life's beautiful moments. Find nourishment in different aspects of life. Don't limit your life. Broaden your choices. Explore options before settling down or move on. You do not have to stay loyal to people and projects and ideas. Move where you can't be true to you, particularly. If it doesn't feel true to you, or you don't bring out the best in you, or you don't feel aligned to things like honesty, integrity, sovereignty, peace, bliss, right? Joy, happiness. If those things aren't coming up for you, then maybe that needs to be moved on out of your life. Embracing your unique characteristics, not feeling pressured to compete with others to prove your worth. Allow yourself that worthiness to come from within. How am I feeling in this moment? How am I feeling in this moment? Okay, keep asking every moment, how am I feeling in this moment with the new things, right? And am I being true to me, and how would I act to be true to me? Is there something that wants to arise from me energetically, particularly for those who are opened into their mystic experiences and are really exploring energy? And this is where we're all going, whether you believe it or not. Energy is the new currency. It is the way of the world. It is what keeps us connected. We're becoming aware of it. And so that energy of the blue wren that seems quite scattered has its own purpose here. It is unique and it is needed, and so are you. All right, my darlings, that is my higher thought for the day. Is it higher? I don't know. Where do your thoughts go with this? I'm going to leave you with that. Happy deep diving into the self-love of you. Bye now.